Okay, hello everyone on Facebook land. It's Neil here. I'm delighted to be doing these chats this week with various artists. We've got Hannah, who's doing a workshop for us on Wednesday, how to perform like a boss. And yeah, she's with us now. Hannah, how are you doing?
Hello, very well.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well. It's almost like we haven't
Good.
spoken to each other for about 3 minutes. Yeah, no, it's great. Good. Thanks so much for giving up some of your time. I
No
know it's a bit
props.
mad at the moment with homeschools and everything. And of course, huge congratulations to you
Thank you.
for the for that you're featuring on The Voice with Team Tom. How is it going? How are you feeling? What's the love? What's the reaction been like? How are you coping? Has your ego managed to retain a normal sense of size? What is going on?
Wow, yes, so many questions. It's been fabulous. A genuinely enjoyable experience. For anybody who doesn't know, I appeared on The Voice UK last weekend. I did my blind audition and got turns from Ollie Murs and Tom Jones, and I picked, obviously, the only knight on the panel, Mr. Tom Jones, and I am
Poor
on
Ollie.
his team. I know, bless
Poor
him.
Ollie.
He was so lovely as well, actually. There was quite a lot that was taken
That's
out
great.
of the edit of him
Yeah,
just being like, hello, I'm still here.
right.
But yeah, it was very sweet. But no, it was amazing reception. Didn't really know what to expect, if I'm honest. Like I knew I'd done a good audition, obviously.
Mm.
I knew it
You
was.
smashed it. Yeah,
Thank you, thank
yeah, you
you.
did. It's
But I
great.
had no idea like what anyone else had done, and didn't really sort of fathom how prime time it all was until it was there on my telly, and I was like, oh god. So yeah, pretty mad experience, but the reception's been incredible. I've got like 500,000 views of my
Wow,
YouTube. Yeah,
that's mad.
it's got the most views of all the auditions so far,
Wow.
this year's competition. So yeah, I don't know whether that actually means anything, but it appears to have had quite a good effect on pretty much every aspect of my career so far. So yeah, let's cross fingers and hope I can smash the next bit. So
Yeah.
yeah, but
Well, I
thank
mean,
you for your support.
yeah, huge congratulations. I was so super excited. What's kind of interesting is I think got to the point where a lot of people feel like they've completed telly, like, and so when it gets to Saturday, what do you watch? Because I'm not really, I don't normally watch kind of talent shows. I've kind of stayed away from them for a bit, but I'm absolutely hooked. And so it's come at this brilliant time. We're in this next lockdown.
Mm.
Everyone needs this nice, warm, fuzzy feeling. We need somebody to get behind, and it's really exciting for everyone. We're invested in you, Hannah. Yeah,
Thank you so
you
much.
know
Yeah, it's
and
you're right. It's I mean, I don't watch them either.
no,
I
it's
really don't.
interesting.
I'm sort of a crime drama and comedy kind of gal. So
Right.
again, like not really kind of the sort of thing that I ever would have been particularly invested in unless there was somebody that I
Sure.
really, 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 really liked and wanted to hear.
Yeah.
So
so
yeah,
so
again, weird.
so what was the process? So did they get in touch with you? How did it happen? Because we were saying earlier that it's like it's now a valid career path to
Mm.
go. I mean, because you're not fresh out of uni. Like you're not, if this was 20 years ago or something, then maybe it would feel, because another on your audition day, the other lady who's on Team Tom, I can't remember what her name was, but she's 18, so that's
Yeah.
fine, great. But you are the other, you're in the smack bang in the middle of your career.
Mm.
So how did it happen? What was going on, and what were your kind of motivations and thoughts? When you got when that was suggested to you.
Yeah. Yeah, Mariam, the girl that you're talking, she's 18. I'm
Right.
38. So yeah, I have 20 years on her, which is kind of makes me a
39.
little bit
Yeah.
good. There we go. But yeah, makes me a touch nauseous, but that's fine. But yeah, there's some things that I'm not allowed to say, but
Of course, yeah.
The opportunity of doing this became a real possibility for me back in spring of last year.
Really? That long ago?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And I had a whole long string of Zoom auditions and meetings with producers and, you know, general kind of like, are you kind of the material that we need to be on this show? And performed, you know, probably, I don't know, 40 songs probably for them over the period of those, you know, from March onwards. So it's a long process. It's a long process.
Interesting.
But really amazing, totally amazing. And then, yeah, again, because of COVID, like normally I think it would be a bit more intense, and you do like a few like face-to-face in the same room with other people, kind of bit more like sort of audition groups, I assume. But yeah, because of COVID, obviously everything's been over Zoom. So it's been quite a sort of detached and very private kind of encounter, really. Which I guess has kind of had pros and cons. But anyway, the opportunities presented itself, and I was in a position where I just thought, do you know what? It's 2020. The apocalypse has happened. What the hell else am I going to do with my time right now? Because no gigs are happening. I can't perform anywhere near like what I've been used to. I'm a bit sad and I'm a bit depressed and I'm a bit worried about what's going to happen. This is something that I can at least put some attention to, put some of my energy into, do something really positive. And if it all comes off, then happy days. If it doesn't, never mind, it gave me something to do, you know? Which sounds terribly blasé, and I don't mean it to. I was very invested from day one, but like, you just don't know what's going to happen with these sorts of things. Regardless of my career, I had no idea whether I was going to be, you know, a candidate. So anyway.
And you hear kind of horror stories, don't you, of people who have applied for something and then been on like Britain's Got Talent or something, and then their career has taken a big hit because of it, because of the way it was, not even the way how they performed, but the way the story was told or something like that. And actually that's one of the things with The Voice I've been really impressed with, is the way they've shared everything in such a positive light. You know, they've shared everyone equally and you know, and really kind of shined a light on not just the people who got turns and whatever, but everyone else, you know, to try and share their journeys and their stories. So yeah, huge congratulations.
Thank you.
We could talk about this for ages, but I think we should kind of move on, because you're not a one-dimensional character, Hannah. You've got more to offer than just one blind audition. Oh, I'm super excited for the battles. You know, as who was it that said? Was it Ollie who said on there that you wouldn't want to be with person to battle you in the next round? And I mean, like any song, you know, even the girl this week who did the rock ballad who didn't get the turns, like even you against her. I mean, she had a monster voice. What were they doing?
I know. Oh, man. Kim, she's lovely. So I actually met her. She was the first person I met in the whole competition, because she was at the same callback audition as me. So the first thing I did in person, she was there, and I was like, I mean, she had like green hair or something at the time, and like just looked like an absolute badass. But yeah, I'm so shocked she didn't get through.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I think she chose the wrong song. I was thinking she should have gone like full rock, like full, like maybe
Metallica,
you know, Metallica or Bring Me to Life by Evanescence, you know, or something like that. And you know, maybe it was kind of a bit halfway. Yeah, interesting. And first impressions are so important, and so starting, because her one started quite low down in her register, it's a bit risky, isn't it? So
yeah, but who knows? I mean, I think again, like
it was amazing, though. Yeah,
and it's been a great platform to her to get seen, and she, you know, she did herself proud. She performed very, very well. So like, even though they didn't turn, other people will now be like, "Hello, Kim, are you available?"
Kim. Yeah, because I mean, you know, I want her fronting my rock band, Monster. Okay, so on Wednesday, because you have been associated with the university. You were in fact my predecessor.
I was.
So thank you for getting me involved at the university.
Oh,
who knew we would be here a few years later? It's bonkers, isn't it? So delighted that you have got some time to lead a workshop. And when we were throwing around ideas for what the workshop would be about, I don't remember which of us came up with the idea of performing like a boss or performing like a diva or whatever it was. But with why did that kind of interest you for the university, for our music theatre, for our choirs and stuff? What is it that you're kind of wanting to say? What do you want people to kind of get out of the workshop on Wednesday?
So I feel like there's a huge amount of mystery around how to perform confidently,
right.
Or what appears to be confidently. And a lot of people have come to me over the years that I've been coaching and also, you know, while I was doing your job, or a version of your job anyway, and, you know, leading choirs and stuff like that. And, you know, people have been like, you know, I want to have confidence. I want to have, you know, the presence and the power, in inverted commas, that you have on stage. And it's like, well, that's not a one-dimensional thing. And that isn't something that you can, well, not something you can either teach or really learn, which sounds like a very odd thing to say, given that I'm just about to run a workshop on it. But it's not a singular, like, this is what you do and you press a button and suddenly, oh, here we go, confidence. It's a combination of lots and lots and lots of different things. And I've been a performer, again, not assuming that people know exactly who I am, but I've got a long career of performing live with my band, Hannah Williams and the Affirmations. Before that, you know, lots of other things, lots of solo work, lots of leading and singing in choirs, and really kind of crafting what I do into something that I feel confident in. And kind of finding my vocal identity and my character on stage. So how does one go about trying to sort of verbalize what I've done and how that can help other people? Well, it comes down to a bunch of different things, mostly commitment. And I don't mean that as like you turn up 10 minutes before the session starts with your water bottle and your pen and your manuscript paper. I mean, every time you open your mouth, there is a committed sound that you know what you're going to do, rather than what I feel I did for many, many, many years, and what I feel a lot of people do because they don't know anything else, is kind of cross fingers and hope for the best. Everything's going to be okay, or kind of harness some sort of spiritual, you know, power to be able to perform well. And actually, as much as I'm totally on board with having kind of a spiritual attitude towards performance, there's something very tangible that you can do, which is recognize that you have a choice, and that every single sound that comes out of your mouth is a choice, much like the words that you choose, the sound that you make is a choice. And you have a plethora of choices that you could make at any given time for any singular note. But how do you find what the choices are?
How do you access them? How do you unlock those choices? How do you get them from way down deep to the tip of your tongue, literally, so that they might come out?
Exactly. And I was working with a new student who's a professional the other day, and she was sort of talking about a couple of things that were bothering her, and I used this idea of, you know, there's not just one way for you to do that. You've just got stuck in that way because you don't know what else to do. And I was like, imagine, you know, it's Pandora's box, but it's there, you just can't find the key. You know, and it's like, I need to just find the key that I can just open it and go, right, okay, what am I going to pick out of my lunchbox today, you know?
But it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because it's not like, even like that implies that once you've unlocked it, it's there, but it's not. It's like you're constantly having to like cut back and constantly keep those things, otherwise they retreat. So I'm guessing you, as a performer, you don't just stand up on The Voice and belt out a massive song. I imagine you work constantly to kind of keep all of those options open to you.
For sure. And I practice a lot.
Right.
I mean, that performance on The Voice, I mean, it was the most practiced 90 seconds of my life.
Really?
Oh my word.
How long have you been working on it for?
I was so rehearsed.
Really?
Yeah, no, crazy amount of time. But again, because it's like, it's one opportunity,
It's one
one
opportunity,
chance, literally.
See, that's really interesting, because, you know, for me, I don't know if it's a vocal thing, instrumental thing. I don't know whether it's different, or maybe it's just I haven't quite got to that level for a long time. But you feel like you might stagnate and stuff. But I know the way you work, it's not. You won't have practiced that song in exactly the same way. You will have practiced that song in a billion different ways in order to find the one, you know, all of the different inflections. And is that something you're going to work with us on Wednesday? Is that about how to kind of bring that out for yourself and for your choirs? I guess that's one of the other things, isn't it?
Yeah. So everything, like I said, everything comes back to this choice.
Right.
And you, as the artist, as the singer, as the performer, whatever you want to call yourself, as the Jeff, you do know what your choices are.
Yeah.
And you need to give yourself the authority that you can make that choice, because nobody else is going to make it for you. So I feel like my job as a vocal coach is to help other people recognize that they have autonomy and authority over themselves, over their own decisions, over their choices, and that an idea is only an idea until you've tried it. It has no value until you've tried it. Yeah. It's a Stanislavskian thing, I know, but it comes from theatre, really. But, like, you know, don't ever tell anybody that's a bad idea. How do you know? Because you haven't tried it yet. Give it a shot and see what happens.
Yeah.
If it doesn't do what you wanted it to do, then move on. But if it does, happy days. There we go. You've got an idea now that you can run with.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because then you've got the bad idea, and then you've got, you know, especially, I'm not a particularly confident singer. You've heard me sing a few times. You give me some great lovely lessons, Hannah. Bless you. But the fear that something comes out of your mouth can then not be taken back. You have to get over that fear, I imagine, very quickly. And I imagine you got over that fear a long time ago. And is that part of how to get from being just a good performer to being a great performer, which you are, to be able to park those fears and just express? Because those fears, they block, don't they?
They do. And I think that, I mean, there's millions of different ways I could answer that question. I wouldn't ever say that I am, you know, I'm a master of those fears, because they still come up. Of course they do. But I'm used to how it feels to be able to get past that and use that fear as something positive, whereas before it would, you know, it would cripple me. It would kind of, I would freeze sometimes if I did something wrong, whereas now it's like, it doesn't matter, it was a moment in time and now it's gone. You have to just sort of move on,
feel the fear and do it anyway.
Exactly. That's the thing. But there's something so exciting about, myself and Vicky have talked about this many times, and, you know, I think we'd gone to see a folk gig, a Morecambe gig, many years ago, and, you know, we were sat waiting for them to come on, and she was like, what is it about seeing live music? Or I asked her, or I can't remember which way around it was, but she was saying one of the wonderful things about watching Morecambe was watching how they made mistakes and how they got past them and how they were musicians about those mistakes and worked through it, and not kind of seeing a mistake as something that is, it's not always bad. Like I know that you and I have, I've said these words to you in you know, in a coaching session before, where it's like, let the accidents happen and see what comes out of it, because actually sometimes they're really happy accidents. Something that you think is wrong might be way more appropriate for what you're trying to say with your song. So kind of, there's no singular way to do anything in this world, I don't think, but certainly when it comes to singing, when it comes to performing, like there is no one way to do things, I have my many different ways, you have yours. They're just that it's your opportunity to be expressive and to actually play and enjoy playing and laugh at the mistakes, laugh at yourself, have some fun with that. See them for what they are, that they're passing moments of you trying to get something to sound incredible, that you are happy with more than anyone else. But the thing about that there's a, you know, you've used this term, you know, performing like a boss, which, you know, it has this kind of like, kind of strength idea to it. And actually, if you look at a lot of what I do on stage, I'm not presenting a necessarily strong kind of hard character. I'm not presenting emotions of kind of confidence. I'm actually presenting extreme vulnerability. I'm showing emotions that are, you know, are hard, that people can connect with on a kind of visceral level. And I'm not, you know, I'm not the only one. You look at any singer who's kind of reached people, it's because they've put themselves out there. One of my mentors, Dane Chalfin, who's most incredible vocal coach, expert in many different things, primal voice expert, has done incredible rehabilitation projects with the NHS, but also privately. He's written book after book after book. He's amazing. And I was lucky enough to have a couple of hours with him coaching back when I was doing your job, actually. And, you know, he said his mantra is, your vulnerability as a singer is your greatest strength.
Yeah, sure.
And I think that we're so afraid to be vulnerable. And I think especially I came through kind of a musical theatre path, and it's cutthroat. It can be really cutthroat. And like, if you don't get it right the first time, then off you jog.
Off you go, yeah.
See you later. Someone else is better than you.
Yeah,
someone
classical musical world is the same.
Exactly. So there's kind of those fields of kind of real, like, those sort of the purists are very like, there's one way, but I'm saying there isn't. I'm saying that you have your own way of doing that, and it's somebody else's problem if they don't accept that as being the way. You know, sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying that's kind of nice. That's what comes across actually with the blind auditions on The Voice, that, you know, you can have your own, everyone's own journey is kind of nice, and they kind of told that story nicely. Great. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, because we've talked for longer than I'd thought we would. So
what a surprise!
What a surprise, knowing you and me, mainly you. But there we go. It's a good one. So thanks so much. For those of you who are watching and coming along on Wednesday, we've also got another surprise. We've just been concocting something. So come along to the workshop on Wednesday, and you'll find out all about that. Hannah, thank you so much. Have a nice rest of your day.
Thank you, darling. You too.
Have you got more teaching today, or are you done? Is this the last thing?
I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of homeschooling with Leo, so I've got to go and pick him up from my mum-in-law's in a minute. But I just wanted to say, for Wednesday, for people who are coming on Wednesday, if anybody is feeling I was going to say brave, but if anybody's feeling vulnerable enough, if anybody wants to, I would love to, you know, workshop a couple of little ideas. If anybody has something that's bothering them, that they would like a little bit of help.
So like a masterclass.
Yeah, sure. If anybody has anything, you know, maybe we can work some. I'm quite sort of flexible with what people kind of want from me. I've got some things set out, but there's some time that we can be a bit free with. So if anybody has anything that they want to work on specifically, anything that, or just any questions, actually, any questions at all. No, I don't know how tall Tom Jones is or what his perfume is, because I haven't got that close yet. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, you know, that they have burning questions they want to ask, then please bring them along. I'm very much an open book, and I would love to share my I was going to say expertise, but I would say experience with you. So yeah, if anybody wants to work on anything and have sort of, you know, a 10-minute sort of workshop of coaching something particular, then please just bring it along. Maybe add a comment on the chat or something.
Please do, yeah. So anyone who's watching is coming along, yeah, chuck a comment on here or bring it along with you on Wednesday, or send a message to me and I can pass it on. Hannah, this has been fun. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks, and thank you everyone on Facebook for watching along. All right then. Ta-ra.
Bye.
Bye.